Guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm talking simply about why 99% of videographers suck. Why they stay stuck, why they can't grow, why they are in a feast or famine cycle, why they can't get enough clients, why they can't get enough work, why they can't get paid more, why they can't grow their company, why they can't hire, all of the fucking problems you guys are going through. I'm going to walk you through why it happens, and I'm going to walk you through how to fix it, all in this video. So sit back, get a piece of popcorn, some popcorn, and enjoy it. So broadly, 99% of videographers suck. It's mainly because they have no offer. They have no positioning, they have no marketing, and they don't know what they're doing aside from creating pretty videos. Like that's a simplification of the problem, right? But I'm gonna go into a lot more detail. But first, like, who am I? Why should you give a shit? Why are you even listening to me, right? Well, my name's Ben Lawton. I founded and scaled a company called Otterworks, started in 2017, and I sold it in 2024. We scaled that company to $500,000 per year, and we worked with some pretty amazing clients. I mean, we had six-figure retainers with cybersecurity companies. We had a 14-part docuseries with the National Trust, as well as some pretty large unicorn clients like Catalent, pharmaceutical companies, before we kind of niche down into the tech sector, tech and insurance sector within London specifically, to really crank up the spend. Now, during that 8-year tenure, I learned a shitload, and I made a shit ton of mistakes. The mistakes that you most likely are still making around your offer, your position, and your marketing. Now, it's all very well and good. 10 years ago, you could exist with an FX3, even though that wasn't a thing back then. You could exist with a Canon 7D and you would get work because there wasn't any videographers and video was on the fucking rise like it is now. It's still rising like crazy, but there's more and more videographers, right? So it's like, how do we stand out in that market? Because the market isn't saturated. The market is just saturated full of people who don't know what they're doing. But if you know what you're doing, you have a good offer, it ain't saturated, guys. There's plenty of work out there. So this is me. These are my employees and my business partner, Dan. This is outside our office, Otter. There's our company van and some company cars. We all had electric cars through the company. There was some really good taxi centers in the UK. That's why we did that. This is me sat on our cyclorama for an interview. This is us filming in our first ever office. This was a black Defender we had as a company vehicle before we eventually sold it to get a van because the MPG made no sense anymore. This is me presenting kind of my life story to the college that I graduated from. This is me bringing on our first employee, Joss, who was great. This is me at Catalent, that pharmaceutical company, who are paying us a lot of money for their video content in like the full scrubs to go into the lab. This is us painting this office. This is us then building a 27-foot wide cyclorama or like Infinity Cove in our new office. And then this is like a still from one of my favorite shoots across the 8 years where we basically did a video campaign for a shopping center where we drove drift trikes around the center at nighttime. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. Here's just like a list of some of the biggest clients we work with. So like we work with Epic Games quite closely in London, National Trust, who are like the second biggest landowner in the UK, huge charity. UK Space Agency, GWR, one of the biggest train lines here in the UK. Howden, insanely big insurance company, and Arra is like a clothing wear brand from the States. So, Ben, things are going really well. You were making loads of money. You were driving a fucking wrapped Tesla. You were making good money. You had a team behind you. Probably didn't have to work that hard. Why did you leave? Well, I turned 30, I had a kid, and I got married, and I realized that I wanted more fulfillment in my life. Like having my daughter brought me so much fulfillment, and I really wanted that to transpire into my career as well, because my career had got to the point where I just basically, I had created and scaled this content factory. And you guys might be thinking, that's exactly what I want to do. Great. But I got to the point where after 8 years of doing it, that it wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. And then I saw this quote by John Gordon, which is, you are not a true success unless you are helping others be successful. I saw that and I thought, fuck, that feels to me like one of those synchronicity callings that I needed to transition into coaching or business mentorship or whatever it was at the time. I had no idea. And of course, I transitioned into one-on-one and group coaching for videographers to help them scale their companies. So that's a bit about me. Let's get into the crux of this, right? Let's get into the sex. So why 99% of videographers stay stuck? So let me just get this framing right. I put a couple of my like client wins from this week on the sidebars. You can have a read of those if you want, but this is where you're going to learn what you need to learn. So beginner, 0 to 3K a month, they're going to have no offer, no confidence, no systems, no leads, no positioning, no clarity, no strategy, and no sales. So they're going to be just hovering around 0 to 3K a month continuously, and it's very, very fucking hard. I do work with people at this level, but they have to have the right flair, the right source. I can coach them and get them to the green, but they need to have the right source. Whereas a lot of them, they're not ready for that. Maybe they didn't want to push that far, right? But so beginners typically, they don't know what the fuck they're doing day to day. They don't have any confidence because they don't really know what they're selling aside from video, but they don't really know the psychology behind that any deeper. They have no systems in place, no automations, no AI, no software that's going to help them scale. Because once you get busy, if you don't have automations and systems, you're fucked. Fulfillment's going to break. They have no positioning, or their positioning is videographer. And then they go on social media and they're like, "Hi, I'm a videographer," and it's like, "Cool, man. I can show you 100,000 people just like you. Why should I hire you? I'm sick." So are they. Give me something more than that, you know? They have no leads. And because they have no leads, they have no sales. And when they have no sales, they have a super strong scarcity mindset where they are just not comfortable with quoting. They will get a job in, they'll get a lead come through the door, the first one in a couple of weeks, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I don't want this guy to leave. I really need this work. I really need this work. Oh, I'll go in cheaper than I normally would just because I really want to land it." Scarcity. When you have an abundance mindset, when you have 3 to 5 leads coming in per day, you can put quotes through higher than you previously would because you think, if they say no, I don't give a fuck. I've got 4 other guys behind me who want a quote for the work. Abundance mindset. And this is really what I started to coach into. And we fix that mainly. We fix the confidence and the mindset issues really by just giving you a shit ton of leads and really helping you scale your company. And when you see the money start flooding in and you start seeing the leads flooding in, the mindset and the confidence just completely changes pretty much overnight, because it's really easy to say to turn work down, then it's really easy to put your prices up when your capacity is just capped all the time. Another thing is their positioning. So like, I'm a videographer. Great. What do you do? I make videos. Great. Who for? For everyone. Okay. What does the video do? What? It's just a video. It's like a video. You can hire me for my services. I'll make you a video. Yeah, but what does it do? You know, what's the ROI? What's it going to do for my business? Oh, it will look nice on the website. Mint, mate. Yeah, business is gonna love that. That's a fantastic strategy to use. They have no clarity. This for me, I resonate with the most because this is something that I struggled with for probably the first 2 years or 3 years of my video journey. I had no clarity. There is an abundance of information out there on what you should be doing, and there's so much of it, and there's so much that's right, and there's so much that's wrong. And because there's just so much, you just don't really know what you should be sinking your teeth into. You don't really know what you should be doing, and it's tough. It's really tough. And you know, when a coach comes in, when a mentor comes in and can give you clarity as an entrepreneur, and you can just gallop, right? They say, "George, you're here. I want to get you here. I'm going to put the blinkers on you, and I just want you to fucking send it this way." And you just get on with it. And then you just start noticing results, and the momentum picks up, right? You start snowballing down the mountain. No strategy. It's just like kind of what I spoke about now with the horse analogy. With the blinkers on, as soon as you know the strategy, you can just fucking get after it. And no sales. And because you have no sales, you have no money. Because you have no money, you can't make the product better. And because you have no money, you have no confidence in kind of what you're doing. And more importantly, something that's overlooked quite a lot, if you're not having regular sales calls, regular sales meetings with clients, you're going to get really shit and rusty. Like, you need to constantly be in these sales conversations, honing your craft, getting better. Like, this is how I got good at sales. It wasn't by like, I've invested 30 to 40,000 pounds in coaching in my life, and I've hired a sales coach, an extremely good one, who taught me so much. But at the end of the day, I only got good at sales because I did the reps. And you can't do the reps if you're not having sales calls. So you're like, every day that goes past that you're not booking in sales calls, you're just like getting worse and worse and worse. And the competition's just outscaling you massively. So that's beginner, right? If you resonate with most of that, that sucks, but I understand. It doesn't mean I can't help you, but you have to be the right sort of person. You have to be the sort of person that's willing to get after it and make some fucking changes. Right. So let's talk about freelancers. Maybe this will resonate more with more of the guys watching this video. I don't know. Freelancers going to earn like between 0 and 6K, 3 and 6K. You know, maybe 1 month it's 6K, the next month it's 2K. It's up and down, it's feast or famine. It's absolutely batshit crazy. It's very hard to plan your life because you're saying yes to everything. Because if you say no to anything, you're not going to make this month's rent. Been there, guys. It sucks. A lot of that, or like almost all the problems around that, can be fixed by having a really fucking good offer. And typically, videographers just have a shit offer. So by coming in and just like dialing in the offer, it's going to improve confidence. It's going to bring in systems. It's going to bring a shit ton of leads in. It's going to fix your positioning. It's going to give you direction. It's going to give you clarity. It's going to give you a better strategy. And it's going to give you a lot of sales practice because you're not going to have a lead problem anymore. So as soon as we fix the offer and start increasing traffic to the offer, like, because fundamentally, guys, this is all you have to do in business is to succeed. Is we have an offer and we have people's eyeballs, and we just want to get the eyeballs on the offer as much as possible. That's all we have to do, like in its simplest form. So how can we just get more people to look at what we do? Okay, that's fundamentally all we have to do, and it will solve 99% of the problems that you're currently happening. And then you get to the point where you have a fulfillment problem and you need to hire. We can talk about that in another video. So fixing the offer, going to be really helpful. So then what happens once we fix the offer? Well, our confidence starts increasing because we're going to start getting more leads. We're going to start getting better sales. We're going to have more, a bit more of a bit more oomph behind us, right? A bit more of a step in our foot because we understand what we're doing. Finally, we understand who we're helping. We understand what we're helping them with. And we can see categorically we are getting those client results, which is an amazing, amazing feeling. We're also going to have better direction by having an offer, a decent offer. Like currently, this is something that has been banging on in my head for a long time and has banged along in like my agency life, is that content packages, content retainers, or just content in general, it's a nice to have. It's a nice to have. If the client's got money, they might buy it, but it's not going to get results because it's just nurturing. It's just like content that nurtures the traffic. Whereas when you build out a system where you can say to your clients, I can help you get more customers and I can nurture them with a content retainer. That becomes a must-have because then you're helping businesses get more clients through video. That's when your offer goes fucking and you start making loads of money and you start getting so many clients you don't actually know what to do with it. You don't know how to scale. It becomes a scale problem rather than a lead problem at that point. So a business owner who's making, 100K a year and beyond, they're going to have an irresistible offer, unshakable confidence, scalable systems that will help you at 1K a month all the way to 100K a month, consistent lead flow, premium positioning, crystal clear vision, proactive strategy, and they become masters at sales because they've reinvested into themselves to become better at sales or any things that they think they're lacking, right? That's the beauty of having an irresistible offer. It's a trickle down effect of how it helps. Like, as long as you're not just selling pretty video, if you can actually guarantee your client results, you can take this to the fucking moon. But Ben, I can't offer my client results. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. So, here's just some like wins from my community of like people I'm working with. Like Nick, for example, solid end of the week for me, closed their 5,800 proposal. I think he got paid in two payments for that. And then there's just loads and loads of our sales calls. And then we just increase pricing for Steven, just loads of wins. Feel free to pause the video and go through it. But for the sake of speed, here we go. So if you can't prove an ROI as a videographer, it's really, really tough. Businesses don't want nice videos. They want sales. They want sales. They want customers. If you can't show them an actual return, an ROI, it can make sales difficult. Now, it doesn't make it impossible. I scaled my company Otter to $500,000 a year. And a lot of that wasn't through guaranteed ROIs. Only in the latest stages of my career, I was able to do that because I kind of got the expertise to do it. And so I'm not saying it's not possible, but fucking hell, if you can sit in a meeting room and you can say to someone, oh, if you come on and you buy our 5-6K retainer, We are going to guarantee you more customers. We're going to guarantee you content that's going to warm up those customers. And we're going to help you with the setting process, the sales process to actually bring these customers on board, right? So really, really, really fucking nice. Now, being from a video background myself, I know that having a must-have offer is so much better than a nice-to-have offer. So there's 2 steps to being broke. Work out how to make your clients more money, and then you can charge top rates. Find the target businesses that actually need your help and have the cash to pay for it. That's all we have to do, right? So we work out how we can make our customers more money, how we can bring in more clients for them. Because if your clients make more money, guess what they're going to do to your relationship? They're going to give you more money because they want more clients because they want more money. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? We want to find the target businesses that actually need our help. So we actually want to speak to people who are actually willing to invest to get more customers, ideally in the local area. So there's been this big myth within the video space for a long time that the more content you have, the more leads you're going to get, which is complete bollocks. Banging out loads of videos won't magically get results. Instead, businesses need targeted ads to actually convert. The same sort of ad strategy I teach in my coaching program, we can also teach your clients as well. So I can help you get more leads with the strategy that I've invented, and then you can help your customers get more leads with that strategy too. So it's almost like a business in a box kind of scenario, and it works amazingly well. So where ads have kind of been for the last 10, 15, 20 years is ROAS has been anywhere from 1.5 to 3 as an average return on ad spend. So you put £1 in, you get £3 out on average. With local ads, we can actually bump this return on ad spend up to like 10 to 20 times. Because by running the ad type that we run and we go local, we are only targeting people who actually can work with us. And the videographers, if we're based in New York and we run ads and we get a video shoot booked in California, that's 2 days of travel time gone, flights, accommodation, all that shit on top of the fucking production. Not great, right? Whereas if we just only run ads in a certain province of New York and we only get businesses in our area that we can walk or drive to within a couple of hours, boom, that's exactly what we should be going for. It makes scaling the business so much easier. So hyper-targeted ads are the game changer. With Facebook and Instagram, you can pinpoint the exact customers in a business needs and serve them ads to make them take action. Make them take action in terms of giving us a follow on Instagram, and then we warm them up with strategic content on our IG to actually convert them. Like I said, top of funnel is traffic, which is the ad. Middle of funnel content, which is what you guys do already very well. But instead of relying on the content to do the traffic and the nurture, which is batshit and has been batshit for like 10 years, now we're going to get the ad to do the traffic. So all the content has to do now on a month-to-month basis is just warm up the followers to the point they're ready to buy from us. And that relieves a lot of pressure because all of a sudden we're making content for people on a month-to-month basis, and all it has to do is nurture. It doesn't have to bring in traffic. So the pressure on the organic content is way off. It just needs to fucking look good and sound good and do good things. The ad handles the traffic, and it's the exact same scenario for the funnel that you'll build for your clients. Another great thing we get by doing this is because we're actually getting our clients results, we can finally charge what they're fucking worth. So no more 2K a month retainers where clients drop you after 3 months. The winning strategy is like get 6 to 10K paid up front, and this will associate you with leads. They will associate you with leads, customers, and money. And so they will just give you more money to get more help, right? And the transformation is in the transaction, guys. When a customer puts 6 to 10K down with you, we change this to dollars. When a customer puts 6 to 10K down with you, the transformation's in the transaction because they've been hurt, because they've been burnt by making that kind of transaction. They are going to put a lot more time into working with you and getting the results. And when you have clients that really put the effort into working with you, the chance of them succeeding goes through the fucking roof. Okay, so this is why we do payments up front. Sometimes clients can't afford to do that; they have to go into some sort of retained payment plan. That's fine, but as a rule, payment being paid up front is always going to be the goal. So most businesses are absolutely fucking batshit clueless about leads. They're still clinging to outdated Google tactics, getting buried under bigger companies. Meanwhile, videographers who understand paid social are going to rake it in. Out of everything I'm going to tell you today, this is the thing you should care about most, is that so many businesses in your local area are doing Google ads, they're doing fucking cold email, they're doing phone strategies, they're doing all this sort of shit. And sure, it might work. It's going to be very expensive, but this strategy is going to work way better, way faster. If you can get clients results within days, I mean, I've had some clients that I work with who have literally launched ads and they've had like 2 sales calls booked within the first 24 hours. One guy got a 6K PIF done within the first 48. It's quick, guys, and it's not expensive. Ads are the future, and you need to offer them. So for a long time, me as a videographer, I was always really skeptical and scared of jumping into the ad space because I'm a filmmaker, I'm a videographer. I don't really want to jump into that, right? I was like scared to do it, and it wasn't until like the last year of my agency I was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I appreciate that nothing changes if nothing changes, and I need to make a change, and I need to learn ads in some capacity. And I played around with Ads Manager loads. I paid loads for courses, mentorship. My brother Tim, he's been in ads for about 18 years. He's one of the coaches in the program. Um, and I kind of collected all this experience together and thought, okay, videographers do not want to learn ads. I know because I didn't. So what ad strategy can we actually put in place that is really fucking simple to learn, really easy to use, really easy to scale, and most importantly, really easy to teach? Because if I can teach the videographers how to do this strategy, they can then help their clients with it as well, and they can also guarantee the results. Why more videos won't make you rich? Your clients don't want 20 to 30 videos per month. They want results. Businesses will happily pay for one ad that makes them money instead of a pile of videos that just look nice. The amount of calls I've had with people, guys, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we just do content retainers," and I'm like, "Okay, how often do the clients renew with you?" "Oh, after the first year, they don't renew." Doesn't sound like a very good scalable system to me. Like, how can you sleep at night knowing that you're not getting your clients the results? Is that really the sort of business you want to grow? Is that really the sort of business you want to run? Fuck that. Leads over likes. Organic reach is unreliable and Google rankings take years. And also, because of things like AI, Google's dying out. Like, I can't remember the last time I Googled something after, instead of just asking ChatGPT for help. Ads let businesses instantly reach local customers ready to pay. Yeah. I was thinking, what can I add more to that? But that's kind of it. So, guys, I'll show you the funnel now if you like. So this is how it works. This is the IG funnel. Get this framing right. So put my sweet little face here. So top of funnel is we're going to run an ad in our local area. And the purpose of this ad is to get people to follow our Instagram page. Once they do that, we are then going to start warming them up for our content on our Instagram. Ideally going to have some form of VSL, some form of video in our link in bio, some form of video on our YouTube, which basically explains what we do as a videographer to help them get more customers. This way, it just builds trust. Like once they get to here, they know you. Once they get to here, they should start liking you a little bit. Our VSL is going to help with the hardest part, which is trust. For people to buy from you, they need to know, like, and trust. For that to happen, they need to know who you are, like you, see your content, and trust you. Trust you is the hardest part by far. It takes the most amount of time, most amount of content, most amount of conversations. For example, this is my VSL that you're watching right now, right? And this is helping me build trust with you because I'm just giving you loads of information and value for free. You might never buy from me. I don't know. But maybe this video is the thing that gets you over the line of think, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to message Ben on Instagram and see what this is all about. If you do, great. If you just want free value, just keep watching my YouTube videos. I'm just going to give you as much value as possible. And then maybe one day you will be ready to work with me. Anyway, so VSL, that's like a video sales letter that you have on your YouTube. And then once we build up enough traffic on our Instagram as well, we're also going to do retargeting ads to our cold traffic. And the purpose of all of this content is basically to get someone to message us a CTA like video so they can DM us that and then we can get them onto a call and get going. Now, the hard part with this is like, in terms of getting the leads flow, it's a piece of piss. The hard part is what they call appointment setting. So we're going to have conversations with people on the Instagram DMs, and we are going to do one of two things. We're going to either try and book them on a sales call, or because we're running it locally, I would really push you to have in-person meetings, because the idea that a client can see you on Instagram and then actually meet you in person, shake your hand, have a coffee with you, sit down for 2 hours, builds insane trust. Because we're running local, we don't have to go by the same rules of everyone else who sells online, because we can actually go and meet our prospects in person. And that gives you so much more power, so much more trust that you can lean into. Now, I run my ad across the whole of the US. I can't go and meet people who are thinking of working with me. So I have to do so much content, so much warm up, and so many conversations to actually get people to the point where they feel comfortable to have a call with me, right? Whereas you guys don't need to do that. You can just go and meet them for a coffee. So yeah, man, I'm from Chicago. I'm from North Chicago. My mum's from here. I was born and raised here. This is my favorite coffee shop. You speak in the same lingo. You speak in the same language as them. And that just builds massive trust. Once we have that meeting, we really want to upsell the offer of like, okay, it's going to be 6 to 10K, 3 to 10K to work with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to run the same sort of Instagram ad that I've ran that you found me with. And from that, we're going to get you more customers, get you more content, and really just blow up your Instagram page to make you really famous in town. And so anytime anyone ever thinks of hiring your business, they're going to think of you. So once they pay, they get them onboarded, we're going to onboard them and we're going to have a production day. So we're going to film the ads, we're going to film the monthly content, and we're going to do some setting training to actually help them with the conversations that they should be having in the IG DMs. The setting is by far the hardest part, and having like, there isn't so much scripts that you follow, but like it's a framework that you can follow to learn more about, to basically convert traffic into the appointments. There's no point running ads and getting followers if you're not actually going to turn those into sales calls or book meetings. Then we're going to launch ads. They're going to start booking calls. They're going to start getting results. And we use that content in our marketing strategy. Now, that's the top level aspect of how it works. If you are interested to learn a bit more, find out a bit more about the system, how it works and how I can help you, how I can bring on board the program and get you some results like you saw above, message me on IG to get started. I'd love to work with you. If you'd rather just watch the content for free forever, fine. Subscribe, like. I'll try and do as many YouTube videos as I can per week. Would love to have you as part of that crew. All right, guys, take care.